Hi, y'all. I'm here. Sorry, y'all. So we're going to be discussing the current situation via code. And I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about all these things that are happening. And you always know I tell you guys to decode, do not react. Decode, and you will see the whole story unfold. But it's more than just decoding. You have to have certain knowledge of certain things. And I don't know if everyone has that knowledge or are, like certain things that will connect the dots. But I have been able to see a lot of dots connecting. So we are going to talk about what happened yesterday. That was already predicted and written and planned, many, many years ago. If you guys know that book, The Last President, or I think I have the photo. I put all these photos that I'm about to show you guys on Pinterest. I mean, not Pinterest, on my Patreon, which is the second to last link in my description bar. So if you guys want to join and support me through Patreon, these pictures that I'm about to kind of briefly show you are there. And so I'm just going to show you them on my phone real quick because they're not in my computer. They're on my phone. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw me post probably some of these. So that's why you're probably here, because you recognize it. Okay, so this basically decodes what happened yesterday. So it says capital equals dome, the Capitol dome, equals head, your head. People broke through the barriers. Republicans, in fact. Republicans are red as far as their color. The day before, Dr. Dre, or Andre Romel Young, has an aneurysm. Okay. An aneurysm is when blood breaks through the barrier of an artery. Okay. And Dr. Dre equals Moses. Trump equals Pharaoh. Okay. So the parting of the Red Sea, or the Great Flood of people are inside the dome. Okay. And the dome represents your head. So this is the energy that's leaving your body. You're freeing this energy so that the Christos energy can replace it. This is the shift that I was talking about for so long. This is the enactment of it. So this is why they allowed the barriers to be broken, to let out what had been trapped inside so that it can be replaced with the Christos. So now this part okay, so his name, okay, let's go to Dr. Dre, because he has a lot to do with it. Not a lot, but they're just using him because of his name, basically. Okay, and what he looks like. So this is his real name. And Andre means man. Romel means strength or Rome. And then Young means having lived or existed for a very short time. So Rome has fallen, basically. Rome has fallen. Trump was hired to create the fall of America as far as a symbolic thing. Okay, so he was put in there to ruin it on purpose. That was his job. Okay. And if you guys are familiar with the book, The Last President, if you go to YouTube, there is someone reading it, and you can listen to the last chapter, and it tells you exactly what just happened, almost identically, except for a metaphor that they may have used. So, this also has to do with the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, the father and the son. So, this, if Lucifer was Pharaoh, or this energy that flooded the capital and left, that would be like the father leaving as the son came in. So this would be that as well, the last remnants of that. And then we have, okay, so the aneurysm was also symbolic of okay, so we have Nas, King's disease, and then we have the little baby. It looks just like Dr. Dre when he was a baby. And he's picking up the throne off of that chair that says 2020 in the back. I'll zoom in. So he's reclaiming his throne. And so this is Nas, and he looks like, on one of his album covers, he also looks like the Pharaoh. So it all connects because that album came out just a couple of months ago, right? And then the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, and then also there's an aneurysm called a conjunctive aneurysm, and aneurysm, like aneurize. Okay, so this is how I'm getting this. And if you guys want these pictures, they're on my Patreon. But I want to show you something. Okay, so I kind of like put this over the little boy's face to show you that it is very much meant to look like his face. You see that? And if you look at all the other faces, they're not as detailed, but his is. So, right? Here's a still shot of it. And so, since I don't know how I get this, I just do. I just pick up on it. I'm like, I connect dots. That's what I do. And here's aneurysm conjunctiva. Okay, so then the next day after the aneurysm, 50 Cent, who's also known as Curtis Jackson, which is his real name, and Ice Cube, which is O'Shea Jackson, so they have two Jacksons, and then Michael Jackson all post something relating to the aneurysm. So here's Ice Cube with Dr. Dre, and here's 50 Cent with Dr. Dre, and they all posted. And this is symbolic. He has the blue tie, he has the red tie, he has a star, and the LA lost, the Angels star. He's in all black, and then red and blue. They post these pictures the same day, right? And then Michael posts his picture. Well, the Michael Jackson Instagram posts this the same day, which is a drawing, right? But this doesn't relate, right? But look at the name who drew it. Adria Romania. Doesn't that look very similar to this? Because it means the exact same thing. Some people's name means the same thing, but they are totally different names, but they have the same, makeup. So why her? Why that name? Why that day? Right? So then it was Three Kings Day. Like that day just happened to be the Three Kings. The return of the Christos and the Trinity after the passing or the leaving, after Donald Trump finally conceded, but he had to be pushed. It was almost like they had to exorcise him out. Like he was in the Exorcist movie. They had to exorcise him out. The body of Christ compels you. That's basically happened. We had an exorcism on this country. And so that's why I'm laughing. People are sitting there taking this stuff serious. This stuff been planned for thousands of years, and I'm sitting up here laughing by who they got to, represent what. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting, but I'll look into it. Now I know y'all gonna ask me about Kanye, and that's what we finna get into that next because you're gonna laugh. But first, let me show you something. Overnight at 3 a.m., there was a strong Schumann resonance blackout. Big things are happening. So y'all know this little thing that measures the frequency of the earth. Well, look, shift, the blackout, power shift, droop. So then, okay, let me look for one more thing. Okay, so here's Trump's last tweet before they cut him off. It says, I am asking for everyone in the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. No violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. So this really means, law and order, because that is law and order are only good, or only cosmic, universal law and order. And in blue, which is gamma ray, the great, which means large frequency. Okay, so he's talking about. So Kanye and Kim are supposedly getting divorced after this. Remember when I told you guys that they were going to get divorced after a certain amount of time? They were only going to be married for a certain amount of time. And then when the shift happened, they were going to divorce. Remember when I told you guys that? It said he conceded. This is the latest news. It's on Instagram. Y'all know social media gets the news first before CNN. So that's why I don't watch it. So I said they're going to break up after the shift. But we don't know for sure, but we're going to see. And there's rumors about him dating or, being around Jeffree Star or something, but that's all code, because Jeffree Star means God's peace. God's peace, son's God of peace, the Christos. So he's leaving Kim so that he may have the Christos God peace. So Jeffree Star just happened to have the correct name, and he happened to be an androgynous being, so they chose him to put him in the story. So it's all about their names and what they represent. That's why he's walking around with purple and green hair, like bismuth, or the color that comes into your pineal gland. It's like there's a sac between your left and your right brain, and when it's pierced, it lets out this liquid. It explains it somewhere in the this pineal gland book that I read. And the color is like the bismuth color, which is like the shiny color that changes color from purple to blue. Purple to green. So he's wearing this purple to green hair as the Christos consciousness, the androgynous Christos consciousness. And that's why this whole stupid story has been put out. It's all code. Nobody really believes that, but y'all know how it has to go. Well, let me look up Kim, because it's been a while since I looked up her name. But so it's Kimberly. I have to look up that. It's giving me like the last name, like of Korean. It's a Korean last name. So let me put in Kimberly. Does anybody know what it means before I spend all this time looking it up? Okay, it means royal fortress. Royal fortress. So the barrier. Yeah. Royal fortress. Royal fortress. So that's why he's, yes, there you go. Yeah, Trump always speaks in code. So this is all that's going on. It's the power shift on it, the power shift televised, basically. And here's the plot twist. The people to bring the nation down were the racist people. And Trump, he was the one that embarrassed and brought down America. And y'all see how they navigated that? They showed you an example to compare it to. That's why they keep showing the Black Lives Matter and comparing it to the Black Lives Matter. And then they're showing, the Trump supporters with the flags and all this kind of stuff, the Confederate flags and stuff, and they're comparing it because this was the plot twist I was telling you guys about, that there was a plot twist coming. Okay, that was the gag. He was supposed to bring down America on purpose with the plot twists to bring in the Christos energy and shift and it to be televised. Remember I told you that Donald Trump was going to make a fool of himself up until it was time for Biden to be inaugurated and stuff like that, so he could keep the energy high. And then all of a sudden, bloop, blackout shift. So remember, like, all of this stuff has to take place in people's view, so that it can sink into their mind subconsciously and they can start to adjust to the shift as well. Because if most people don't know this information, they have to show it to you in this format in order for you to kind of absorb that data into your DNA as to what's happening. And so deep down inside, you know what's really going on, but you don't know. A lot of those people were actors, and you can totally tell because most regular people are not that articulate when spoken to. Their clothes aren't as strategically picked out for, you know what I'm saying? It's like someone picked a wardrobe and everything. So you don't look like these characters that would actually play the roles in a movie if this were a movie. They look just like a character that would play the role, right? No one looks that much like a character that would play a role unless they were playing a role. They even had the Simpsons dude on there with the little horns coming out of his head. So, it's just, let me see if I can find it for you. So you could laugh. Because y'all know the Simpsons is always predicting or telling the story because it's already written. It's not that they can predict the future, it's that it's already been written to perform. It's like you would be just reading the script. Sorry, my battery's low. You would just be reading the script of the movie that we were in. So, might as well. So if y'all want all those photos, except that last one, I'll try to upload that one later. They're on my Patreon, which is the second to last link in the description bar. You can just, and there's also a lot of PDF books in there, like spiritual books. If you just want a bunch of, books, you can, join my Patreon for like a month, read all that you can, or you can stay joined if you just like to donate. But yeah, all the pictures are in there. I just posted them, so they should be the first or the latest post, I'll say. Thank you. Right. So to me, I don't pay attention to it. Stocks and Bitcoin, all that stuff fell, and people are selling now. So it's all a stock market thing too. So people could get in and get out, get their money. Okay. I made $200 overnight, just with the little bit of things I had because of what was going on in Washington. I mean, it's not a lot, but I didn't invest a lot, so that's pretty good to me. And in one area, just in one little area. He wears that outfit. Yeah, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? All right. Is the RNA video on my Patreon? No, they took it. They took it because it's a live video, but it may be on. If I don't know. No, see, if I stream on this, which is StreamYard, it will still. I will still have it if YouTube tries to take it again. So this is my backup, or take any video again, but it's gone. It's okay though. Y'all got most of the information. It's just they didn't want that around before the what came out. Even people are still not wanting to participate in the injection of it. They have to make commercials for it. That's so sad. Yeah, but we can't really get literal into all of this. It's all planned and fake. Like they already knew that they were going to say that they were going to divorce, separate, get back together, or they already knew this was planned because I knew. How would I know if they didn't know? It was all planned. So it just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Rocky, Walkie, Sprinkle, Sprinkle. Sending love and looking forward to Manifest Destiny. Regarding Capitol Hill, it's PSYOPs. Push, yeah. Sprinkle, Sprinkle. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's why I don't really pay attention to it. I just sit there and laugh. It's my entertainment. And, I laugh at the people that are also taking it seriously. That's also my entertainment. So I can't even have a conversation with quote unquote normal people because it's funny to me. I'm like, I can't talk to you. I gotta go. Your IQ's way too low. I gotta go. And it's not their IQ. It's just I don't say that. I'm thinking it's not that. It's just their ability to research and observe it's just their level of consciousness, I guess. Their amount of consciousness. I don't know. I'm just very aware. That's all I can tell you. I just pay attention so close. I analyze so many things. Like I know stuff people don't even think I know. And I just don't say anything because it would make, people like, huh? But I do. And it's just like, don't tell them and it'd be better off. Because, once you know certain things, if you still are okay with someone or okay with, being cool with somebody, then it doesn't really matter anyway. But, I see a lot, like people try to hide things sometimes or about themselves, but somehow, some way it reveals itself to me. And I just never say nothing. No one can doubt you ever again, huh? They will, of course, though. That's okay though. This is the fun part, the I told you so part. The RNA, they took that one. That was my other I told you so. The RNA. Remember years ago, and I was saying, oh, they're gonna make one with the RNA. They're gonna try to introduce it like A, B, C, and D, and they did. So it just comes from just knowing and being aware and doing the research. And just knowing where to be led. Like I'm led to certain things like that most people wouldn't be led to. Like who would be led to a Nas album cover? Who would be listening to Nas 3 days prior and posting it all up on Instagram 3 days prior to the aneurysm, which his baby picture is featured on the Nas album cover, taking the crown off of a throne that says 2020. I don't know, but somehow I got it. So I just do that, and that's how it happens. And you say, what's your birthday? March 11th. 79, baby. I'm old. Okay, so older. I don't think any. I told y'all that's Noah's Ark. The injection stuff. It's all Noah's Ark, hitching rides and stuff, altering DNA and all that kind of stuff, slowing down DNA, stopping certain DNA from activating. You know, the quantum tunneling. You know, it's very quantum. I'll just say this: genetic engineering. That's probably easier to understand. Genetic engineering via quantum physics. All right. You got hit with sleepiness. I got hit with happiness. Like, I was just in a really good mood. I was like, oh, it's like I was glowing and wanting to sing a song and da-da-da. That's how I felt this morning. So I felt the energy. No, 11th. 11, baby. So, Dawn. No. I had to put the title in code, you know, because the capital is the dome, and the dome is the head. So the floodgates opened and released what had been trapped for so long, and now it's finally free. And now it's kind of like in the Lion King, the king has returned, or the watch the throne, or the Christos consciousness is now returning, or now the power is shifting back to the people. So that's what time it is now. And I think we're going to see a lot of changes and positive changes, but first it's going to be like a little bit of chaos because everybody got to, move around and figure out things and let this energy settle. And then I know this is too long of a prediction because I don't know if this will even be here in this long, but in 40 years or in 4 years, it could, because see, a lot of things are wordplay. It could be 40, not FO, 40 years, or 4D as in dog, or like Dan, or 4D years. You know what I'm saying? Which would represent like the end of this whole illness thing. So we'll see. They like to wordplay so that you never know unless you know, and until you can read the signs that are surrounding it. Thank you. You have woke up so many of us. Oh, thank you, Elaine, sprinkle. I appreciate that. So Well, this this was because in the last president's book, they actually did that to the Capitol, but instead they used Dr. Dre, and the rating of the dome instead, because if you decode the word dynamite or TNT, it means power. So the powers that be, or the power that was, which is white supremacy, that's why they used the Trump supporters and the Confederate flag, went into the Capitol building, which would represent a certain type of power that be, right? So that was the metaphor for the dynamite that was used in the book of the last president when they blew it up. So maybe that's why she predicted it. That's why you can't really predict stuff, because you don't know how they're going to pull it off. So next time, people should say something is going to happen to the Capitol building. Not that it's going to be, whatever, because metaphor and wordplay allow you to execute plans in several different ways. So if they didn't want to destroy this thing, let's say, well, what else can we do that would make it make sense? Okay, get Dr. Dre, call Dr. Dre up, tell him he got to go fake an aneurysm right quick. And then get them Trump supporters and call them actresses and actors. Get that dude that dressed like the Simpsons, tell him to come through too. Now Trump gonna give y'all some cold words and y'all know what to do, right? All right then meet back up here and we'll cash up everybody about, $1,000 and nobody going to jail. All right, sprinkle. So that's basically what they did. And that's why I was laughing the whole time. And it was so crazy because like the people that are still asleep, they're like calling around and talking for hours on the phone, emailing each other. Can you believe what's going on? Yes, I read about it several years ago, but they were chilling at the hospital. It's all sick. Right, exactly. And you know that conjunctive aneurysm also represents an aneurysm behind your eye, which, if you know the story of Horus and, Ra, the different eyes. So there you go with that. It all relates back to the ancient times, and they just have to reenact it in America in order when the shift, occurs. It's just a cycle. It keeps doing the same thing. So, well, this was fun. What's next? The rest is now it starts all over. Now we start back, like, except now that we have knowledge on how, certain things were conquered. Now we have that knowledge, and we can't forget that. So now it's like the cycle back to ancient Kemet, where we start using advanced technology and spirituality and all this stuff together. It's like the new golden age coming back, and this is where we're headed now. But see, after this, that power left, or that the demons were exorcised, not the demons, but that energy that was exorcised out, eventually, after many, it could be centuries, that type of thinking is going to be long gone and forgotten, and people aren't going to have to prepare for wars or dishonesty and because we're going to be so technologically advanced. There'll be no privacy, like on 5B and up, there will be no privacy. So people won't have a need to know how to lie or cheat or all this kind of stuff. So after a while, when things start shifting back, if they shift back, people will need those things, because as they descend back down, the technology is not going to be there. Everything's going to go back, lower and lower. And so they're going to start needing to know how to survive again. And so that's when that energy returns in order to allow, you know, that to be taught. So it's just a whole cycle, the up, the down, the yin, the yang. But now we're getting ready to go into a higher level of consciousness and higher dimensional thinking. So what a great time to be alive. Yay. Mm-hmm. You said burglars tried to, hold on, I'm going to put this one up. Burglars tried to break in or breach Dr. Dre's home while he was in the hospital. That means spirits were trying to get into his body. They was trying to hitch a ride and get inside. You know how like when you're astral traveling and some people say, oh, I'm afraid something's going to get in my body. Because the house represents your body, your temple. Oh, that's so nice. You said, I think I manifested money for, or you think you manifested money for Billy Carson's event and you went and bought a ticket? You was even giving makeup. See, there you go, girl. Imagine what else you're going to get after you have this workshop. You're going to be like, getting even more. Thank you, girl. Sprinkle. What do you mean when you say privacy? The higher you get dimensionally or consciously in technology, there's less privacy because a dot is 1D. I mean, 1D, right? A dot and a line is 2D, which is like a piece of paper. So you can see everything on that paper, right? 3D is like, you know, a sphere. You can see everything. There's still privacy though, because you can't see under the line that was drawn. You can't see on the side of the line that was drawn on the piece of paper, but you can see it in 3D, but you can't see inside of it. Then 4D, you'll be able to see inside of it. The 5D, inside like an X-ray. So the higher you get, the less privacy you get. And that also goes with truth, because awareness also increases as privacy decreases. Yeah, that's how you'll be able to see. So that's how you'll be able to understand things. So that's why privacy disappears. That's why there's no need for certain things that are needed now, because you can hide stuff. When you can't hide anything, you know, you don't fear something because no one's hiding anything. You know what I mean? But as you descend back down into the 3D, then you have ways to hide certain things. Okay. From people on the same level or below. Just like they can hide things from us on a higher level, we can hide things on a lower level, but all of us on 3D can hide things from each other too. So there you go. You won't need, here's the thing, it won't matter if you don't have the privacy. This would be like, okay, so if I were 2D, and I automatically upgraded to 3D, I would be mad that you can see my sides. Like, I would be mad that you could see the side of my arm, because before it was just a flat thing on a paper. I'm mad because you could see the side of me. That was my nakedness. The side of my arm, oh my gosh, you can see. You can see the side of my body. You can see the side of my head. You know, I'm embarrassed. I was hiding that. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be like on that level. So, you know, then when you plop out to 3D, you're no longer embarrassed of your arm, the side of your arm or the side of your body. It's like, I don't care. Shoot, it look good. So, and then when you get to 4D, another part of you will be revealed. You know, can you imagine the other part of you that you don't even see now? It could be like a whole nother appendage or something. Who knows? Auras and electricity and stuff, like different versions of your head. I don't know. Oh no, they can see my other head. They can see my third eye, you know. So who knows? Third eye. You can see the crystals glistening inside me. Oh no, you can see my sprinkle. So, that's how it's just gonna be. And then you won't be embarrassed of it. You'll be flexing it. Ooh, look at me. So that's about it. You'll be grateful to be operating in peace. Yeah, but then that's how everything fell again. Like they weren't concentrating on, other things they were creating. If you saw the video with Billy Carson, he explained how Egypt got taken over because they weren't concentrating on, didn't have an army or nothing like that because they weren't on that level of consciousness. And that's how they got took over too easy. Mm-hmm. Sounds like Superman with X-ray vision. It sure does. Will birth control affect it? I don't know. I'm not a pharmacist or a doctor, but you could read it, do your research on it. I sent you a video on Instagram about Dr. Makio. Okay, I'll look through it. Thank you. 48 laws of power, playing all the way to the end. Exactly. Precisely. Mm-hmm. This is the New World Order. It's the shift in the consciousness. People always think it means something bad. It's just a different way of doing things. That's all. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think Thoth is like a consciousness or a type of energy. You know what I mean? Just like Christos or crystal. Return of the Christos is a type of energy. It in a frequency. It comes with knowledge. You know what I mean? So it manifests in many. So if like to say Thoth were to return, Thoth would manifest in many. You know what I mean? Because it's too big to be in one. Okay. But maybe more so in others. You know what I mean? Maybe more so in others. More so. More so in others. I'll say that. I say because like a lot of people will, a lot of energies will have come back at this time, but they're too big, so they have to go in different people. So you said you heard someone say Trump is a quasar, which is a star, right? It's a dying star, right? Lucifer, the shining one, right? Is a quasar. He has to go back to the cosmos, return to the heavens. That's what his character represents. What they should do is you can't end the world. It's just going to keep going in a circle. Repeat. Yeah, Trump used 3 or 4 people in a costume. Mm-hmm. Didn't watch Soul yet, but Sasha watched it and I heard some of it. Mm-hmm. But if I already explained it to you guys here, then I'll watch it. But it's just the same stuff as Sasha told me that was the same thing that I told her about the hitching of the rides and going in and out. So thank you. I appreciate your wisdom and how it changed my life. See you at the seminar. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, Erica. Sprinkle, sprinkle. But that's why I'm like, when I understand certain things and I teach other people, they'll start to see it in the movies and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Or they'll start releasing a lot of the information via movies and cartoons because the world is ready for it, because a lot of people are just putting that information out to people that didn't have it or weren't interested in it before, becoming interested in it now. Right. Right. Yeah. And all these characters and archetypes are the same. You can name them many ways, give them different names, but they're the same. Definitely. So I think it's out with the that power and in with the new power. So that's why Prince probably named his group New Power Generation, because he knew that the new power would be coming back soon. The shift was occurring. You would have never started listening. Oh, you started listening to the Book of Enoch audio again because of you. It's easier to understand now. Thanks for explaining things. You're welcome, Wild Honeybee. Sprinkle, sprinkle. New Prince. So I just explained that earlier in the video. But I'm not going to stay on here all night. I wanted to get this out so that you guys could understand what was going on. And I don't want to make it a long, drawn-out video so that people can just watch it and get the information and stop freaking out so they can know what's going on. I will see you guys later. I think that's all that I can really say about this at this time. If more unfolds, I'll come back and do another video. But I think it's going to be interesting times that are coming up. Thank you, Cheryl. You are doing a great job educating so many. Thank you. Many blessings to you. And like I said, if you wanted those pictures that I showed you in my phone, either you can go to my Instagram, which is free. You can go join my Instagram. Or you can go to the Patreon and support. And those pictures are there, probably blown up bigger. And there's more stuff there, like more decoding stuff, a bunch of books, the alchemy books, and PDFs everywhere that you have access to. So it's a good investment because it's going to give you knowledge too, and you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of books because there's a bunch of them there. There's symbolism books. I show you how to break down decoding step by step in some of the posts. You can post stuff on certain parts of it. You can comment and all that kind of stuff and talk about whatever. So if you join, thank you. And if you're already a member, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Let's see. I'm signing off. You said Q-Rees are on Men of Letters channel now. If y'all want to listen to them. Yeah, y'all go check them out because, I know Q is very good at decoding. He does it in a slightly different way, but he still connects dots because people connect dots in different ways according to what they know. And, so I will see you guys later. And thank you for everybody who donated. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, and to join the Patreon, it is the second to last link in the description bar. All right. See you later. Bye.